9 and after
really?
you leave.
Pero ganun lang kaikli yun? 11:10 to 11:20? Yeah.
Sometimes even less.
And they give you the song prior to that?
They gave, no, I auditioned kasi for Disney using Part of Your World from Little Mermaid. That was my audition song. And I was still doing Miss Saigon at the time. So I had a show the night before. I had to wake up early the next day to audition, I think. Or was I sick? I can't remember. But anyway, so I went, and because nga it's a cartoon, they didn't look at me. Hindi nila ako tinignan. Sinabi nga nila, sorry na lang pero hindi ka namin pwedeng tignan kasi boses mo lang ang kailangan namin. So, sige. Pangit naman ako today, so okay lang. I was pangit that day. But, so they're all like this. They're looking down, they're on a table, like, just ignoring me. And just listening to my voice. And they wanted to see if I could actually sing higher, so the composer went to the piano and played it the same
higher key.
and if I could sing it, and I sang it naman. So I got a call to do a demo of A Whole New World with a guy that they chose to play Aladdin.
Wow.
And that was it. Mabilis. It was really quick. It was a really quick turnaround. And that was it.
Did you ever meet sila Robin Williams and all of that?
No, the only one I met during was in naging ka-duet ko, my duet partner. I didn't get to meet anybody else until after. Until you're at a premiere or at a screening, which is unfortunate because I wanted to meet Robin Williams. I mean, I did a movie with Robin Williams, but never met the guy. It's unfortunate, you know, but it's okay. It's alright.
What's it like dealing with, you're performing in Miss Saigon, tapos si Lady Diana doon pinapanood? What's that like? The cream of British society
Try the Oscars.
or the Oscars.
Try the Oscars.
Or, di ba? I mean, the cream of their society, the royalties there and you're performing. What's that like?
You just have to do your job.
Really? Do you get very nervous about it?
I try not to. I have enough to think about with the show. I mean, when Princess Diana came to see Miss Saigon, we were still in previews. It was the night before. It was the night before opening night, so it was our final preview. But it was for a benefit. It was for the Princess Trust. And yes, she was there. She was in a box, and we would be on stage, and you could see her. You could. How can you not see her? You know? And she's like 5'10", and you know. But when you're doing your job on stage, that audience does not exist. You know, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes mahirap din na parang when you know there's a celebrity in the audience, when Prince is in the audience.
Yeah, you feel you have to perform for that specific person, di ba?
And the thing is, when a celebrity is in the theater, it spreads on stage. Parang
so everybody gets.
Because there are people who get to look out into the audience during the show.
Nandito si
and then the next thing you know, when they turn back, Prince is here. They're just whispering on stage. Where is he sitting? Where is he sitting? Look at the two bodyguards in the middle. He's right in the middle. Mga ganon. And chismoso din kami. But having said that, it doesn't ever interfere with
the performance.
Never. The audience has no idea what happens on stage.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all an illusion, really. You know, the whole thing is an illusion. It's smoke and mirrors. It's magic. And we're not supposed to tell the audience the hardship, you know, that we go through.
Yun yung sinasabi ni Maluna, hindi kita yung tahi.
Hindi kita yung tahi. You know, you don't see the stitching. You don't see that there are safety pins holding your costumes, you know, keeping you from falling apart. You know, if you're having a personal crisis, the audience should not ever see it either. Here, obviously, it's difficult to hide. But there are cameras everywhere. There's like all 40 of them, you know.
How do you handle that? Let's say may personal crisis ka, and then you really have to perform. What's the mental exercise that you go through?
The mental exercise I go through. Find the places. It's great doing musical theater. Pag concert, mahirap. Kasi lagi kang nakangiti. Kasi you're just yourself.
Right.
Concert. Musical theater, the great thing about doing theater, you hide behind the character, one.
Right, okay.
Number two, usually it's an emotional roller coaster anyway. So you try to find in the show, saan ako pwedeng umiyak? Saan ako pwedeng sumilaw? Saan ako pwedeng magalit? And you let it out there. It's cathartic. It's release.
Buttons to press, right?
You
Remember?
know, it's
Yeah.
so you find, for example, there's a part in Miss Saigon where you're shouting at somebody in somebody's face and singing. So kung ano yung maling galit mo sa araw na yon, ilabas mo doon. And you can let it be as real as possible, just let it out. And then when you're backstage, parang,
Sarap naman.
it's out. I've been slapped on stage, as in, and unexpectedly so. And I let out an FU on stage. I wanted to kill that actor. And so for the next 3 days, I've had to perform. It's Miss Saigon. The world will not stop for me.
Right.
You know, I gotta do my job at the end of the day and show up. So that's also part of the job. If you're having a crisis, the job and the world will not stop for any one of you.
Right.
Ever. You have to go along with what's happening. And so I had a scene partner, and I think I was sitting on his lap in Miss Saigon or something. And he noticed that something was off with me. He just looked at my face and knew, parang hindi yata siya normal today. And so he's asking me, are you, and we're still in character. And he's still supposed to be this, pawing me, arms and legs or whatever. And he's asking, are you okay? And still in character. And I'm like, I'm not having a good day. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. and I'll find a place to let it out. And I'll find a place where I can cry without being in character, where I can just let my frustration, anger out. And I use the show as therapy.
So yun yung talagang umaabot yung point na you're performing your life, actually,
Yes.
diba? Talagang may connection na yung private life at ano mo, then nag-merge talaga.
Nag-merge sila.
And yet you're doing a role, diba? Right.
It doesn't happen too often,
Right,
but I'm thankful that I have my job to let out stress. And there was now one of my husband's aunties nga that said, parang, maswerte ka na kumakanta ka for a living, na ilalabas mo lahat ng mga stress mo sa iyong pagkanta. Lumalabas. It comes out. I don't keep stress in. So, if you sing, you're very fortunate. You're very lucky to have this job.
Therapy.
It's therapeutic.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, you gotta do it well.
Yeah.
I cannot stand how to do people. Yes.
How do you psych yourself? You've been performing Miss Saigon thousands of times, but how do you
Keep it fresh.
act like, keep it fresh?
Well, the audience has never seen it. This particular audience has never seen it. I have to keep in mind this audience is new. I have to perform as if it's the first time for me. But sometimes my mind will drift. Minsan, my grocery list will come into my head. While I'm singing a solo of some sort, it's like, ano nga kailangan kong bilhin? Manzana, karne. And the next thing you know, your number's over. It's like, oops.
So you went on
I
autopilot.
went on autopilot.
Uh-huh.
It's hard to come back when it happens, but that's when it's another challenge. How not to go on autopilot? For example, you're doing a band gig and you're singing the same songs in the same order. How do you not drift? It's the same principle. How do you not lose yourself?
Stay present talaga
How do
lang.
you